It was a blistering July afternoon in Maplewood, a tidy suburb of Columbus, Ohio, when our backyard oasis became the battleground for a feud that would shake our quiet neighborhood to its core. My name is James Carter, a 52-year-old federal safety inspector, and this is the story of how a simple family pool party, complete with burgers and floats, turned into a showdown with our neighbor, Linda, and her powerful family. It's a tale of prejudice, revenge, and redemption that proves justice, like a good cheeseburger, is best served with conviction. The trouble began months earlier, on a crisp spring morning. I was hauling trash bins back from the curb when Linda, clad in a lime green jogging suit, paused her power walk to sneer at my freshly mulched flower beds. "My, it's so bold, what you folks have done here," she said, her voice syrupy but sharp, like a knife dipped in honey. That word, folks, carried a weight that told me this wasn't about tulips. It was the first shot in a Cold War, and I knew Linda's judgment ran deeper than my landscaping. Fast forward to that fateful Saturday. The sun blazed over our backyard, where our in-ground pool sparkled like a sapphire. My kids, 12-year-old Ethan and 9-year-old Mia, were in their element. Ethan, a wiry kid with a knack for strategy, lounged on an inflatable alligator he'd named Admiral Chompers, while Mia, a whirlwind of giggles, darted around him, playing a game she called Burger Bonanza. The rules? Yell, "Burger," and try to snag a bite from the other's plate. Floating on an inflatable tray between them was our indulgence, a tray of juicy, bacon cheeseburgers from Tony's Grill, the kind you order after a grueling week to remind yourself life is good. My wife, Sarah, a pediatric nurse, sipped lemonade on the patio, her face relaxed for the first time in weeks. I stood by the grill, flipping a few extra patties, soaking in the laughter. This was why we worked hard, why we mowed the lawn, why we paid the mortgage. For this perfect, fleeting moment. But perfection is fragile, and Linda was about to shatter it. The first sign was the sharp clack of flip-flops on concrete, like a war drum. Linda's house, with its flawless lawn and ever-twitching curtains, loomed next door. Her patio door slid open with a screech, and there she was, a vision of fury in a teal sundress. "Are you serious?" she bellowed, storming toward the fence. "Food in the pool? That's a health hazard." Her voice sliced through the air, silencing the kids. Ethan froze on Admiral Chompers. Mia clutched a burger, bewildered. Sarah stood, calm as a summer breeze. "Linda, it's our pool, our food, our kids," she said, her tone polite but final. But Linda wasn't listening. She pointed at Mia, her face red with rage. "You're turning that pool into a sewer. Grease, crumbs, it's a violation of community standards." Before I could respond, she pulled out her phone, dialing with a vengeance. "I'm calling 911. This is child endangerment and a public health crisis." Sarah and I exchanged a glance. Was this real? Ethan shook his head, muttering, "She's lost it." Linda, now on the phone, ranted to the dispatcher about burger slicks and sanitary sabotage. From her doorway, a lanky teenager, her son, Noah, emerged, looking mortified. "Mom, stop," he whispered, but she waved him off. "Go inside, Noah. I'm handling this." His eyes met mine, a mix of apology and something else recognition, before he retreated. Minutes later, a patrol car rolled up. Linda flailed her arms like she was signaling a rescue chopper. Two officers, one grizzled with a gray mustache, the other young and clearly confused, stepped out. They approached me first, a small courtesy I appreciated. "Afternoon, officers," I said, keeping my cool. "Let me guess, burger emergency?" The older officer, Officer Daniels, sighed. "Something like that. We got a call about unsafe conditions and pool contamination." I gestured to our fenced yard. "This is private property. That's my pool, my kids, and our burgers. Last I checked, eating isn't a felony." Linda, overhearing, shrieked. "It's about the grease. The filtration system. It's a biohazard." The officers inspected the pool, finding nothing but clear water and a few crumbs. Mia, ever the firecracker, popped up, burger in hand. "Dad, is eating this a crime now?" The younger officer, Officer Lee, stifled a laugh. Daniel's mustache twitched. "No, sweetheart," I said. "Eat your burger." Daniels turned to me. "Your pool's clean, your kids are fine. This isn't a police matter." Linda exploded. "Not a police matter? They're eating in water. It's a choking hazard. I'm on the HOA board. Her voice hit a pitch that could crack glass. That's when I decided enough was enough. I walked to the patio, grabbed my wallet, and pulled out my credential case. Flipping it open, I handed it to the officers. Gentlemen, I'm a federal safety compliance inspector. I train officials across the Midwest on food safety, water filtration, and pool regulations. My kids, eating burgers in a chlorinated, NSF-certified pool I maintain myself, are safer than most public facilities. I turned to Linda. This is the most code-compliant burger party in Ohio. Linda's jaw dropped. The officers grinned. Daniels handed back my badge. Case closed. Linda, refusing defeat, stammered, "That's fake. He's lying." Then she did the unthinkable. She tried to climb our fence to seize evidence. Halfway up, her dress caught, and she tumbled into Sarah's prized azalea bush, shrieking as thorns snagged her. The officers, now stern, helped her up and issued a warning. False reports and trespassing are misdemeanors. One more call, and you're cited. Linda, scratched and humiliated, retreated. The war seemed won, but the real battle was just beginning. The neighborhood buzzed. A neighbor, Mr. Thompson, revealed Linda had been distributing fake HOA flyers, banning pool food, and demanding water tests for a fee. Worse, she'd used HOA funds to print them. At an emergency meeting, armed with the police report and invoices, the board fined her, removed her from her position, and made her a pariah. Memes about burger sabotage flooded group chats. We celebrated with a neighborhood pool party. Families brought sides, kids swam, and Admiral Chompers carried a fresh burger tray. I hung a sign. Warning, burgers in pool. Enjoy. Officers Daniels and Lee even stopped by, joking about evidence slices. Mia grinned. Dad, is this party illegal? Laughter filled the air. I offered Noah, watching from his patio, a plate of burgers, urging him to chase his dreams in environmental engineering. He nodded, a faint smile breaking through. 3 weeks of peace followed. Then, a sleek gray Range Rover parked at Linda's. Out stepped her father, Harold, a stern real estate tycoon in his late 70s, and her brother, Greg, a smug lawyer. They surveyed my house me roses, my basketball hoop with cold disdain. Linda greeted them, not as the HOA queen, but as a subordinate. Noah, in the doorway, shook his head, his eyes screaming, "This is bad." 2 days later, they knocked. Harold's voice dripped with old money arrogance. "We own the house next door. This neighborhood has standards, and they're slipping." Greg smirked. "We've heard about disturbances, sanitation issues. Conduct." Sarah, at my side, fired back. "The only disturbance was your sister's false 911 call." Harold dismissed it. "We protect our investments." It was a veiled threat, and they knew it. A week later, my boss summoned me. A law firm had filed a complaint with the Inspector General, accusing me of abusing my authority to bully a concerned citizen. It twisted the burger incident, painting me as a corrupt official. I was placed on leave, my keynote speech at a safety conference canceled. Linda's family had struck my career, exploiting their wealth and connections. Despair settled in. Then, at midnight, Noah texted me to meet at the park. He looked broken. My grandfather orchestrated the complaint, he confessed. He's a developer, building Crestwood Hills. He sees you as successful black family as a threat to his brand. Then he handed me a USB drive. He's cutting corners on drainage, faking soil tests. It's all here: blueprints, emails. He's building a flood risk and calling it luxury. My inspector's mind raced. This was fraud, a public safety disaster. Noah explained. You inspired me to care about safety. My family destroys, you build. He tossed me the drive and vanished into the night. I acted carefully, sending anonymous tips to the state EPA, a tenacious reporter, and the engineering board from a library computer. A week later, the story broke. Crestwood Hills halted, fraud alleged. Inspectors swarmed, licenses were suspended, and lawsuits piled up. Harold's empire crumbled, his hypocrisy exposed. My review was dropped, my speech rescheduled. Noah left home, suitcase in hand. I left internship forms in his mailbox, a note urging him to keep caring. Our backyard was peaceful again, Linda's blinds shut, her influence gone. Justice had prevailed, not through anger, but through truth. What do you think? Have you faced bullying or injustice in your community? Should we confront hate with force or strategy? Share your thoughts below. Let's debate how to stand up for what's right.